Okay, I think we can start now. So good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us today. My name is Fadi Biscalis, and I'm the Senior Product Manager here with Blueship for Neat. Today we have our presenters from Neat, Daniela and Graham, who will go through some really exciting news and solutions and product updates from Neat. Um, we'll have everyone on mute, but please add your questions in the chat, and we're going to be attending to them at the end of the session. Also, make sure that you stick to the end of the session because we have a lucky draw on a Neat frame. Um, Over to you, Daniela.
Morning, everyone. So, as Vadi said, my name is Danielle. I look after the partner and distribution at Neat. Thank you for joining us today. So, this is our team. Oh, you can go. Graham's driving the slides and I'm talking. So, hopefully, we can
Sorry,
make that work. No, no,
song
all
and
good.
dance show.
So this is our team across Australia. The reason I wanted to show you this slide is because you can contact, any of us at any time. We have people in, sales, product management, marketing, technical, anyone that wants to help you depending on what you need. So all of our details are available for all of our partners. So if you need to contact any of us anytime, you can. So, what does Neat do? So, for some of you, I know that you haven't heard us speak before. So, we build intelligent collaboration appliances for everyone in the meeting room, but also for the people who are joining remotely. So, we are all about the experience and making the experience as real to life as possible for everyone that's on the call. And our whole philosophy from the very beginning has been around being simple, so simple to use, manage, and set up, scalable, and intelligent. And that's very much where yeah, that's where we have always fitted. So, from a simple perspective, we have purpose built devices and we have a very small product range. So, we actually only have 7 devices. So, we can fit into 99% of the meeting rooms out there with the 7 devices that we have. We are all AV over IP, and the devices that we have are very much built for the future. So we'll talk about that a little bit towards the end, but all of our devices are Android and they're Android 13 now. They will go to Android 15 and beyond, which means that our devices can be used very much into the future, at least to
33.
2033. I was like, 23? 33. Um, so, which is super important for your customers. They want to know they're buying devices now that they can use for the future. From a scalable point of view, we have a centralized management platform, which Graham will go into in more detail. It gives you the ability to be able to roll out and manage all of your Neat devices remotely, and build, as you go. So whether it be, using those APIs or, rolling out devices on an ongoing basis, we can do all of that from the management tool. And then from an intelligent point of view, everyone is always talking about AI. So our cameras and our microphones switch dynamically. As you know, during a meeting, you won't even know whether it's using the front of the room camera, center of room camera, the Neat pad. It all happens seamlessly. And we've had AI built into our products from the very beginning. So although it's very much a buzzword now, it's been built into all of our devices from when we started 6 years ago. And then from an open point of view, we can use any of the platforms like Google Meet, Teams, or Zoom. You can also use BYOD. And we also have an app hub that you can access from our open platform. So I love this slide because it talks about how meetings rooms used to look and then what a Neat room looks like today. So it's all about reducing complexity, reducing cables, making sure that everything is nice and clean and neat. So, like I said, we very much focus on the experience. So, we look at what is the experience that the customer is trying to achieve. Then we can work out which devices we have that fit into that experience, and then look at the spaces that they're in and make sure that everything works seamlessly. So this is neat in one slide. So we can do everything from those personal and small focus rooms all the way up to sort of medium and large boardrooms. We have the way that we do that is with our small range that Graham will go into in a little bit more detail in a second. But we have a few bars, a personal device. We have three different size boards, one of them which is brand new. We have a neat pad which can be used in the room or as a scheduler, and we have a center. And then we can use the different platforms and our management platform to go above that. Here are just a few of the neat customers that we work with. NAB is probably our biggest customer across ANZ. They currently have over 3,000 devices. And they love our products for lots of different reasons, but the main one is the ease of use and the ongoing reduced tickets that they have with our devices. So compared to the existing vendor that they were using, where they had tickets every day, they almost have no tickets with the Neat devices. So that comes back to the quality and that has been built into our products. But this just sort of shows you the sort of customers that we have, and most of those customers are happy to be a reference for us. So when we talk about reducing the total cost of ownership, part of that is because we don't need as many components in the room. So we don't need ceiling mics or table mics with a bar at the front of the room and a neat center. Then you can create all that you need for an successful meeting room. I talked about reducing the tickets, but people want to use our rooms. So we say, like, there's customers that say to us often that they have three or four, they might have three or four different vendors, but everyone always wants to use the Neat room because it just works. And that's what our customers keep telling us. The Neat kit and our rooms just work. This is a new study that has just come out. Neat is still a very new company compared to the others out there. So the fact that we're in the top right quadrant is super exciting for, as far as growth and innovation, we are very much ahead of the curve. And now I'm going to hand over to Graham, who's going to talk a little bit more about the Neat product experiences. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. But thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Danielle. All right, so I'm going to go through some of the reasons why and how we differentiate between ourselves and the competitors. And the first off is one of the biggest things for Neat is around the experience of the setup. We have a simple setup, we also have a guided setup through our Neat pads and online tutorials that enable you to very easily set our equipment up without any hassle. All of the brackets, all of the mounts come shipped with all of our devices, and it's a very simple guided setup installation that'll help you get going very quickly. Another one of the experiences that we like to focus on is around the meeting room experience. And what we do is we like to amplify and look at the experience of the enhancing the voice, not the background noise. So built into our devices, we actually have embedded noise reduction and voice optimization to ensure that the voice is made higher priority. We also have built into our devices boundary setups. So we can actually create a boundary, meeting room boundary, to ensure that everyone in that meeting room is captured and everything outside of that meeting room, including video, is not captured. That we, ensuring that we capture what's important, not what's not important. And one of those things that we do to ensure better, I suppose, meeting room equality is Neat symmetry, which is this intelligent people framing. So a little bit of a story back in when COVID happened. Neat actually developed what we call Neat Focus, which everyone calls intelligent people framing these days. Everyone's got a version of it. Neat actually holds the patents for this. And the reason why we developed it was everyone was working from home at that point, and everyone was coming in from their laptops, and they were nice framed up people. And then when you had the premium experience of a meeting room, everyone was these smaller images of everyone, and you always typically saw this bowling alley view of the boardroom table, and the view of the premium room was sub-premium, went to the far end, where everyone went home using a very cheap webcam, came through with a very nice experience. So what we wanted to address and fix in this case was to ensure that everyone had meeting equality. We wanted to ensure that everyone had the same size images in a meeting room. So we developed and came out with Neat Symmetry, which individually frames each participant in the meeting room. Apart from our experiences, we have, as Danielle mentioned, a whole range of devices. And as you can see there, everything on this page is pretty much all of the devices that we have. Now, one thing that Danielle mentioned is we are an AV over IP organization. The thing that we also have is, and that differentiates us from everyone else is distributed intelligence. And what that means is ultimately our devices are like building blocks. For example, you've got a whole range of boards and bars, and we also have the Neat Center. And you can expand your solution based on what components you need within the room just by adding additional components. Because each of our components, including the Neat Center, have their own operating system, their own memory, their own, in itself, their own component. So therefore, we can literally just add and expand, whereas traditionally a meeting room, the size of a meeting room or the size of a codec in a meeting room was determined by how many inputs and outputs you typically had. Gone are those days, and now we have distributed intelligence where we can just literally add more and more of these devices to expand our solution. So in our range, we have to the left there, the NeatBoard Pro, which is a 65-inch all-in-one device. Now, why customers love this is because it is a collaborative device. It does have an interactive touch screen, which is a 4K touch screen where you can use pens and so forth. But what customers love about this is that not only is it an all-in-one device, so there's no additional cables apart from the power and Ethernet if you choose to have Ethernet, is it's all-in-one. There's nothing that people can fiddle with or play with or unplug anything. And the other thing that people love about it is the adaptability. We have an adaptive height stand, which enables you to raise and lower the screen height based on the meeting room that you have. And that enables you to essentially not only put it into different rooms and different scenarios, but also from an inclusion and diversity perspective, it also enables everyone to be able to utilize the devices because you're able to lower it down to suit each individual person when it comes to using the collaborative functions. So that's the NeatBoard Pro, which we have on the left there. And then the smaller of the two, which is the NeatBoard 50, which once again, that's designed for small to medium-sized meeting rooms. And the NeatBoard Pro is designed for medium to large type meeting rooms. But we sort of did have a little bit of a gap. And we've now just introduced the NeatBoard 32, which is the smaller all-in-one board, essentially. And that is designed for those smaller huddle spaces, executive offices, those type of really small and smaller spaces. And I'll go into a bit more detail about that in a minute. And then to the right there, we have a range of bars. We have the Neat Bar Pro, which is designed for our large to medium-sized meeting rooms. And then we have the Neat Bar Generation 2, which is the next one down, which is designed for that medium to small meeting room. And very last below that, we have the original Neat Bar, which was released in 2019. And funny enough, even though that the Neat Bar Generation 2 is the successor to the Neat Bar, people still want the Neat Bar because it's great for things like BYOD in those lower cost environments. Above that, hanging from the ceiling, as you can see there, we also have the Neat Center. And the Neat Center is a complementary device to our existing devices. So you add this to expand not only microphone coverage, but also camera coverage. And we'll explain how, in a moment, how that really changes the dynamic of a meeting room environment. Now, below that, we also have the Neat Pad, and we've just launched the Neat Pad Pro, which I'll go through in a moment. And the Neat Pad is a single SKU. So it shows you there's two there, but it's actually only one device that ships with either a wall mount or all of the brackets ship in the box, but it can be used as a scheduling panel on the wall or a controller on the table. And it's one SKU that does everything. So once again, we have a very neat, really pointed portfolio that is designed and specifically and purposely designed to do pretty much every meeting room, from a very small huddle space all the way up to a large meeting room as well. But just a little bit more on the Board 32. We've just launched this. We've got one in the country. I think it's in Melbourne at the moment. And this is really good because it is designed for that. We had a bit of a gap in that small end of town where people wanted something in that huddle space or on an executive desk where they wanted to use this as either a second monitor as well as a Zoom or a Teams device. But also those huddle spaces where people wanted to be able to just have one or two, maybe three people behind a device, be able to plug their laptop in and either use it for BYOD and use all the intelligence and the smarts that we have built into our larger rooms into this smaller device. So it has a 32-inch all-in-one 4K touchscreen. It has a 140-degree wide field of view. And why is that important? Because in those smaller spaces, when people are really pretty much side to side to the Neat Board 32, the 140-degree wide field of view is able to capture everyone in a meeting room, no matter how close they are to the front of the screen. It doubles up as your desktop monitor, so you can use it has what we call power distribution, so you can plug your laptop in and use a single cable BYOD to not only use the intelligent camera, microphones, and speakers, but it'll also charge your laptop there as well. So that's really good. That's got 90 watts of power distribution. And there's a whole range of mounting options for this. So we've actually got the table stand that ships with it. And then we have a Visa pattern as by default on the back of the device. So you can actually mount it to your own articulated arms if you like. But we also have a range of adaptive table stands and table clamps. And the table stand enables you to raise and lower, tilt it left and right, and be able to adaptively adjust that screen to suit your height and requirements there as well. Now we also have a adaptive table clamp, which enables you to get the maximum out of your spaces by clamping it right on the edge of the table, so you can make the most of your huddle space where typically your space is very limited. So it is very flexible. Once again, this has just been launched. It's coming first with Zoom, and it's pending certification at the moment. And then very shortly, it'll come with Microsoft Teams, and that will be our first MDEP running device, which is the Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform Operating System that Microsoft has launched. So we'll be running that on this device as well. So really, really exciting. As I mentioned before, we had the Neat Pad. Now we've just launched, and I just received, actually, I've got one here in my hot little hands. I've just got the Neat Pad Pro, which is a 10-inch pad, which is pretty much an upgrade to the Neat Pad. This is the new Neat Pad Pro. So it's a 10-inch screen. It has multiple purposes, just like the original Neat Pad. It can be used as a controller or a scheduler for both Google Meet, Teams, and or Zoom. It has more processing power and more memory. And why is that important? Because that enables us to run more applications. When we're running things like our App Hub, we can run more complex applications on that device. It has more processing power. It has built-in dual microphones, which are omnidirectional microphones, so we've improved the microphone capability. And it is a premium device. I mean, we've built this with all recyclable components. So it has a premium aluminium body with a premium anti-glare touch screen, so it's not susceptible to fingerprints. It's got an RGB LED, so it is the bee's knees of pads out there at the moment. So we're really, really excited about this. One of the other things we're excited about, the flexible deployment options. So in the box, it ships with one bracket that can have multiple different angles that you can mount it. So you can mount it on the wall with multiple different wall mounting angles. It can also be mounted onto a tabletop or just used as a tabletop bracket. And you have different tabletop mounting angles there as well, all with the one bracket, which is ships in the box. Really, really exciting. It all powers via PoE. So it is really, really the next generation of pads. Did I hear you talk about larger rooms? What are we doing about larger rooms? I know Danielle's laughing, but we aren't just focusing on the lower end of town with our Neatboard 32. We're actually doing a lot to focus on the larger spaces. And the first thing to do is we're introducing is, and it's available now, is Neat Focus. And what Neat Focus does is provides the views that matter in larger spaces. So if you could imagine when you're having a large boardroom meeting, town hall meeting, and maybe just of someone important, what you want to do is you want to provide a view of the presenter or presenters so that they're of focus, they're of priority to the people to the far end. So that when you're presenting, that people aren't just seeing a view of everyone, they're seeing a view of the presenters with priority. So what we've got here is a little video. You don't need to hear me talk about it. We've got a little bit of a video so you can see exactly how it works. So here we go.
We want to introduce Neat Focus. With Neat Focus, we could take front of the room camera, Neat Bar Pro in this case, and also a Neat Center and get two different areas of the room. As you might already know, today we have individual framing. So what happens in individual framing is everybody in this space is cropped out and gets equitable experience in the meeting. However, what if we want to get a presenter and bring them into the meeting? And we want to make sure everybody knows who that presenter is. Well, I'm going to the front of the room now. And here at the podium, the Neat Center is responsible using Neat Focus to focus on this area and pick up a presenter. Why is this important? In large conference rooms, classrooms, flex spaces, or all hand spaces like this, we're able to bring that prominent speaker to the front and crop them out so everybody here gets an equal experience to the folks at home as well. So as everyone here is interacting with the presenter, everyone remotely sees the same thing. And that is Neat Focus.
Pretty impressive. Key points to note there is he didn't actually touch anything on the touch panel to make that work. All fully automated. As soon as he goes into that stage area or the area that we've set, instantly it automatically creates a new split dynamic window to make that person the priority in the meeting. So it's really, really good, easy to use, easy to set up. The other thing that we've got, as I mentioned before, around our scalable architecture is multiple Neat Center support. So before we had the Neat Center, where you would have the ability to use the Neat Center not only for improved microphone coverage, but where the Neat Center really excels. And to be honest, when I first joined Neat, I thought, oh, not another center of room, camera. I've seen these before. Microsoft had one, and other competitors had one. They didn't really work. But where Neat does it really, really differently is we actually use it in conjunction with the front of room device. So why is this important? Because when you're having a conversation across the table, typically the far end would see the side of your head. But what this is enabling you to do is to ensure that everyone in the meeting, including the people at the far end, still feel included in the meeting. So when you're talking across the table, the Neat Center cameras kick in and they'll automatically pick the best view of your face and send that through to the other end. And now we've added the support for not only 2 Neat Centers, but in beta, we've actually got 3 Neat Centers. So we're really, really changing the market, changing the game just by expanding and making it the ability to cater for those larger and larger spaces. Now, bear in mind, these are sitting on the tabletop at the moment, but you also have the option to pendant mount them as well. So you can hang them from the ceiling or put them on top of the table. So what we've got here is a little video to show you how it all works. Now, this is an internal video that they've done, so it's not really a marketing video, but it gives you a good idea around how this multiple Neat centers work.
Hi, welcome to Oslo, to our new Experience Center. We are here to demo a new capability that we are working on that will be released second half. We are combining Neat main device now with 2 Neat centers. So we will start with demoing individual framing. Individual framing is based on Neat symmetry. And one of the challenges when you have multiple cameras is that you can pick up the same person multiple times. But we are solving that in our intelligence, making sure that we capture each participant only once. We're also making sure that we capture each participant from the camera that has the best angle. So the 3 cameras are working together to make sure that we have the best view of each person. And this is dynamic. So if I now first look towards Øystein, I'm captured by Neat center that are standing behind between Øystein and me. But if I turn around and look towards the main device in the room, I'm captured by the camera on the main device.
Now, this is pretty impressive, and this is doing it all automatically by analyzing the facial frame. It's not based on microphone coverage at all. It's analyzing the facial frame and working out which camera is providing the best view of your face to the far end for each individual participant in the meeting room. And that's pretty impressive. Did I hear you say, but what if I wanted to do just one person? What if one person is speaking? Then we have dynamic speaker tracking.
Speaker framing. And speaker framing helps far end get closer to the speakers, the active speakers in the room. So it's either one speaker, or if 2 are speaking at the same time, it's both speakers together. So Øystein, can you share a little bit more about this feature and how it works?
Yes, I can do that. Now you're seeing me from the camera on the Neat center, which is closest to me. But now I want to present something, so I will stand up and walk towards the front of the room. So as I'm walking down, then the second Neat center will pick me up, and then eventually the front of the room device will pick me up. Then I want to address the people in the room, so I turn around towards the people in the room to present something. And then it is the Neat center that is closest to me that will pick me up.
Now, key points to note is that there was no user interaction switching between the cameras. It was doing that full automatic, and also the dynamic microphone mixing was mixing all of the microphones, so you wouldn't even notice him walking between the microphones there as well. But we also, taking that even further, we're introducing some new features that are coming very shortly, where you can actually have the Neat bars and boards have additional audio systems to be plugged in and used. For example, if you find the audio within the Neat bar or the boards insufficient, you can add your own front of room speakers there as well. And then taking that even further, even to those even larger spaces, we have the ability with our Neat Bar Pro and our Neat Board Pro to integrate into third-party audio systems. So currently today we have a relationship and certified partner with Shure. So you can use any of the Shure IntelliMix range to be able to add microphones and speakers, lapel mics, handheld mics, and extend that even further into those larger customized spaces. So it also works with other vendors as well, because we do comply to audio over USB standards. But because the other vendors aren't certified, you'll miss out on things like mute synchronization. So when you press the mute button, your microphones on the ceiling won't go red. But it does work with other vendors, but we have certified the Shure product range there as well. Now, this is all great. Our devices in the meeting room are really great. How do we control them? What are we doing for management and control? And with that, we have our Neat Pulse platform. And what Neat Pulse does is it's really an umbrella of multiple things. Neat Pulse is our management platform. It's also our support coverage. It's our help desk, as well as our essentially our third-party integrations as well. So when it says manage and monitor, it enables us to update the firmware and manage our devices through that. It also provides remote control capability, so the ability to remote support and to remote control a device at the far end very easily, very seamlessly using a standard web browser, providing that support from anywhere to any of our devices. To gain insight and support, built into our devices, we have a range of sensors: temperature, light, people count, people detection, total volatile organic compounds, a whole range of sensors built into our device. And all of those sensors feed up into our Pulse platform, where we're able to use that information to create automations within our platform. We're also really able to very seamlessly and easily be able to create a support ticket with a single click. No need to download logs. It does it automatically. And then also with the extend and integrate, we have an open API for third parties to be able to leverage any of the information within our Pulse platform. And our App Hub enables you to have third-party procured applications or your own web applications to be able to create applications on our device. So that's in a nutshell what Neat Pulse is. It also has our service and support bolted onto there as well, so our help desk as well as the advanced hardware replacement. Changing tax slightly, we also have just introduced this thing for our partners called the Neat Workspace Designer. Now, instead of going through slides, I'm actually going to do a bit of a walkthrough if I've got time. So
Yes,
here we have.
You can have a couple more minutes.
I can have a few more minutes. That's great.
A few more minutes.
So this is our Neat Workspace Designer. As you can see, you just go to neat.no / workspace designer, and you'll get to this page. And here you have the ability to look at what type of space you want to design for. So you can go personal, focus rooms, huddle space. I'll just go to a medium space. So when it goes to medium space, I'll have, and it's loading, so this is a real live demo. And here we have our medium-sized boardroom. And this is full drag and droppable, so you can see it's full 3D. And I can click on this dot here, and I can add things. Like, for example, I want to add a Neat pad for control. I want to add a Neat center for our microphone coverage, as well as our center of room camera as well. I want to add a Neat pad possibly for scheduling. So you can see there, a Neat pad is added for scheduling, and I've got a Neat board 50 there as well. Now, what this enables me to do is, what are people in the room going to see? This is what they're going to see on the screen. The camera views are going to be, for example, front of room, and then I can change to individual framing. So this is what it would look like when we're doing individual framing. The camera coverage would cover all of the room, and the microphone coverage, in this case, would cover all of the room. So you can see there the different camera views, and I also have the ability to, what would the Neat center look like? So I can change that very easily, very seamlessly, to show customers exactly what they can expect from our devices in exactly what type of room environment. And this is all dynamic. I can change the type of room. For example, if I wanted to go to a focus room of 2 people, what would that look like? And I can introduce different devices, different components, different layouts, different components to show you exactly what it would look like. So in a focus room, here we have the Neat board 32. What if I wanted to add a Neat pad for scheduling? So there it is there. And I can see various different bits and pieces. I can look at what it's going to look like in the room, and I can drag and drop it around. I can look at what camera views they're going to see. And I can see also, if I turn on individual framing, what would they see? And you can, once again, it enables you to experience our products very easily and seamlessly through this workplace space designer, and you can essentially screenshot or download any of this at any time. So
That's exactly what I was going to jump in and say. So a lot of the partners have said to me, yeah, especially ones that have been using our products for years, they know how to design a room, but they're using these like the design tool to take screenshots and put it into proposals. So you can then show a customer exactly what it will look like with Neat devices. So use the tool, steal the information and put it into your proposals for customers.
So, and I've gone through that. One of the other things that we wanted to talk about there is the longevity and how we build our devices. So, built into our devices, and to get better ROI, we always pack the latest processors built into our devices. So even though, for example, our bars have been out for over 18 months or whatever now, because we built the latest processors in there, we first released them on Android 10, but we've actually, because we put the latest generation of processors in there, and we were running them on an earlier version of Android, that enabled us to go up to not only Android 13, which is what we've just released now, it also enables us to go to Android 15 and beyond, up to even Android 17 when we have it available. So what does this really mean? This sounds great, but what does it really mean to me or my customers? What it means is the supportability. So with both Google, Microsoft, and Zoom have all got end of support dates for specific Android versions. For example, on Android 10 and 11, the devices that are running those operating system versions have end of support at September 2027. So anything that's running Android 10 and 11 will have end of support with Microsoft, as you can see here, on September 2027. And then if you go to Android 13, that end of support date changes to August 2029. And then as you can see even further, for Microsoft, for Android 13, 14 and 15, that changes to October 2031, and it goes even up to 2033 for Android 17. So as you can see here, both Google and Microsoft publish their end of support dates for the AOSP operating systems. And Zoom doesn't actually provide this information date, but they follow a relatively similar end of support date structure as well. So why is this by having our devices upgraded to Android 15 and Android 17 and beyond? Why is that important? That provides you longevity and greater return on investment for your devices that you purchase today, to ensure that they're going to be supported by your respective UC vendor up until 2033, which is great. So with that, I'm going to ask, do we have any questions?
Just put them in the chat if you have any. I just wanted to jump in with three things. Thank you very much, Graham. Blue Chip has Neat devices in all of their demo facilities. So if you want to go and have a demo, then they can give you one in any of the showrooms that they have. And then we have two promotions that we're running at the moment. One is a deal registration promo, which is purely through Blue Chip. So if you have any customers that you think would be a good neat fit, then register them with Blue Chip, and then you will get a $25 voucher per deal reg that you do. And then we also have an end user promo that we just launched today around Neat Pulse. So the management platform that Graham was talking about, we're doing 3 years for the price of 1 year. So again, that's for new Neat customers, but they're the two promos that we're running at the moment. So I'll send them all to everyone after this webinar, so that you have them on hand. But if you have any questions, then please let us know. I don't think there's any questions. So Fadi, did you want to jump back in and do the spinning of the wheel frame giveaway?
Yes, we are getting it prepared as we speak. Yeah, thanks for sharing the promotions with the partners. Yeah, we have these two promotions running, and the Pulse one is really it's a very good is a very good option and a very good value for money. So you're getting 3 years for the price of one. And it's running till the end of financial year, till the end of June.
Yes.
So
Yeah. So
it's
till
a
the end
very
of
good
June.
option. Yeah. In terms of the value that they get out of it. Thanks everyone. Thanks Danielle and Graham for the nice presentation. And it's good to know that there's
There
new
is one
products
question.
coming up. Yeah,
No.
let's check it.
Oh no, I already answered that one.
Oh, is it the one for okay, yeah. So and yes, if you need any case studies or any kind of special kind of brochures or like a mini presentation or anything for need, just reach out to us. We have all the kind of resources that the people can ask for. So just let us know, especially if you have any case studies or any certain partners, any market verticals that you need to attack with neat solutions. Let's go for the lucky draw.
Can I win?
No, you
Yes.
cannot.
Oh, nice. So Mr. Potter won with us today. We reach out to you after this webinar just to find out how we can send you the neat frame. Thanks everyone again for joining, and hopefully it was useful for everyone. And yeah, just reach the Blue Ship and to Neat if you need any kind of help or support with your neat opportunities. Thanks.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.